It's about to be a new year, and that means the Texas legislature is getting ready to go back into session. But what new laws could be coming down the pipeline? Let's connect the dots. Lawmakers have already been busy filing bills to tackle this session. One that's already gotten headlines is from a rep out of San Antonio that would get rid of daylight saving time. Not sure if this bill has much of a future, since Texas lawmakers have tried and failed to pass it in the past. Another proposed bill would make it a civil offense, not a crime, to be caught with less than 1 ounce of pot. That's just one of several bills already filed aimed at loosening marijuana laws in Texas. And a bill filed by a lawmaker in El Paso would repeal a Texas law that makes homosexual conduct a crime. The Supreme Court ruling has already made this law unenforceable, but it remains on the books in Texas. The 2019 legislative session goes into session on January 8th, so all we can do now is watch and wait. Connecting the dots, Stephanie Whitfield for H-Town Rush.